Ben Wiedemann is out front. Now, he is in a town that has been partially liberated by Ukrainian soldiers. I do want to warn you that what you're going to see is disturbing, but we feel important.
The bodies of dead Russian soldiers are scattered around the town of Pisky-Radkivsky, killed far from home in what the Kremlin chooses to call a special military operation, but it's a war by any other name. A war into which many more Russians will be thrown now that the so-called partial mobilization has begun, and who may well meet a similar end.
This is a bank document found on one of the soldiers. The soldier is from St. Petersburg, and he was born on the 30th of September 2001. He died 3 days before his birthday.
The charred remnants of Russian armor are scattered around town. Outgoing artillery pursues an army once considered one of the most powerful on earth. An army that abandoned tanks aplenty, many in working order. Dmitry and his crew are tinkering with one such tank fresh from the battlefield.
Minimально.
It has minimal breakage, he says. I can turn it on now without any problems. Sure enough, its motor roars to life. When they run away, they lose not only the tank, says Alexander, but also the ammunition, and the next day it's all used against them. This tank almost ready to go back into action. Pisky-Radkivsky lies just north of the Donbass region, which after sham referenda, President Vladimir Putin plans to annex to Russia. Yet few here have fond memories of life under Russia's sway. Stanislav is cutting sheet metal to put over the shattered windows of his sister's home. There was looting in spring, he recalls. They were taking everything. Down the road, Varvara and Raisa are back to what they did throughout the Russian occupation. Just sitting here, says Varvara, they didn't bother us. But Raisa found them annoying. Nazis, Nazis, she says. They always ask, where are the Nazis? The Russians have left or lie dead in the dirt. Lives wasted. Or nothing.
Ben, it's impossible to imagine what it was like to see that. You talk about that boy, 19 or 20 years old with the bank document. And for you, what is it like as you have covered so much of this war to walk through a town like that and see dead bodies of Russian boys all over the place?
It was just shocking, the number of dead Russians we saw. We counted at least 22 bodies, and we were really in that town only about 50 minutes to an hour, and we really didn't even get a complete look at the situation there. But just to add some more news for you, this city, Kharkiv, where we are now, just about 5 hours ago, came under Russian missile fire. About 5 missiles landed, one of them just about 600 yards from we are now. It took a electronic substation out, and the city, much of the city, is completely without electricity. In fact, I can see just a couple lights in the background. Perhaps those are from generators, but this just gives you an idea that despite the fact that the Russians are losing ground in this part of Ukraine, they still have the ability with their long-range missiles to cause serious damage.